Okay, guys, I had recorded the rest of the episode after I talked about the quilt, and I wasn't making any sense. I was just so tired that my brain wasn't even putting thoughts together correctly, and I decided to just re record that part. As you can see, I don't have the quilt anymore. I did meet up with Michelle yesterday and I gave her the quilt, and she seemed to like it. She's definitely quilt worthy. It was just, yeah, I think it's going to be really good. I got a chance to see part of her new house, which I think is just going to be so nice. I can just picture her sitting and knitting with a quilt on her lap, and that just makes me happy. So that went really well. So I decided to re-record the other stuff that I had talked about, which I'm glad I waited, because one of the things I talked about was my sweater, my sock arm sweater that I started. I have since done more, and so I think it's a little more interesting to see what I've done. I've shown in the past, it's the sock arm sweater by Stephanie Lotvin. I'll put the link down below. And I've got to the point of putting it together enough to pick up for the sleeves. So I basically have like a tank top. And so I've got the dark purple on the bottom is Blue Moon Fiber Arts. The middle is Black Sheep Yarn Co. And then the top is yarn that I dyed. And I was able to finally try it on because I got as far as seaming up the shoulder seams, and it fits really well. I have to say it fits so far. I mean, I don't have sleeves on it, but it fits me really well. I think it's going to be a good sweater. So that made me really excited because I haven't been able to try it on until now because bottom up, it's hard to know where that's going to land without the shoulders there, but it hits me perfectly under the arms. It even looks cute as a tank top. So I even thought, well, maybe if I knit it out of a cotton or a linen or something and kind of made a tank top, or just do kind of a cap sleeve or something, it'd be cute. So now I get to pick up the sleeves and knit with the self-striping yarn. I'm going to go with the Felici. I didn't do a sample or a test of it. I just feel looking at the skein and how this ended up going with the colors, because when I first picked it out, I wasn't sure how my colors were going to be laid out. And because I did it like this, I feel like keeping the stripe in the arm simpler. And I think that it's going to be simpler with the original yarn that I picked out from Felici, or from Knit Picks, my Felici yarn, rather than the Desert Vista Dye Works that I had originally kind of contemplated a few episodes ago, because that's got more stripes and it would introduce more colors, and I thought it just doesn't need to be more busy. So very happy with my sock arm sweater. The pattern gives you lots of ways to customize it to fit you. I did do a little bit of waist shaping, but not fully, and I'm glad I did it that way. And so, yeah, it fits so far. So I'm anxious to see how it goes with the arms. I kind of thought I should maybe knit the arms to just make sure gauge was going to be okay. I know I probably should. I just hate knitting something that I'm going to have to unknit. And I would need to unknit it because I need the whole skein to make the sleeve. So I can't just like knit a swatch and let it be. So I don't know. But I think this could be, fingers crossed, as of today, I feel like this could be a really good sweater recipe for me. Just based on how it fits so far. And then just zhuzh it up with adding stripes, maybe doing some purling to give it some texture somewhere or something. But yeah, I'm really happy. When I was able to try it on, that made me feel so much better about it, because I hadn't been able to do that. And I thought I could be doing this all for nothing. So that is really the only knitting I have done, because like I had said in the earlier part, I was working on the quilt and my time was spent doing that. So I am doing some spinning. I have bought some more. I bought some more roving. I wasn't going to. I'm like, I'm good. I have plenty to keep me busy the whole rest of the summer. And then these dyers are putting out these gorgeous colors. And I realized that part of what I'm liking about the spinning, aside from the fact that it's just a very relaxing movement that you do, repetitive movement, and I can sit and watch TV or listen to something or whatever, but part of it is what you do to it that makes it change. So you take it from a fluffy state. So this is what I'm spinning right now. This is a BFL. And so you start with this like fluffy state, and as you're pulling it and putting it into the spinning wheel, it's changing right before your eyes. It's turning from this to yarn. Like it's a single, but it's still change. So you're watching that change over and over again. And then as you're pulling your colors, they're mixing as you're pulling them through. So that's fun to watch. And then when you go to apply it, it makes it look completely different. And that's really cool to see. So I'm loving kind of the experimentation of how is this going to look? How are these colors going to end up going together once it's applied? And it was the same kind of thing I liked when I was dyeing yarn there for a while, is just like, what happens if I put this color and this color, and then just watching that change. And I like that. That's fun for me to see. So that's part of what my addiction right now is to spinning. So this is the first bobbin of this. As you can see, there is like a mauve and there's some purpley blue and stuff in there. So you can't really see that in the bobbin. I'm almost done. This is all I have left to spin on the second bobbin. And then I will let them rest and ply them. Way out of my comfort zone as far as colors. I mean, it's got a lot of brown. I don't do brown. I'm getting really bored of spinning it because it's not very fun colors for me. I'm not sure that I'll keep it just because I don't know, because I don't know what it's going to look like when it's plied. So I'm just going to do a 2-ply. It'll end up being about a fingering weight yarn. If it doesn't work, then, if it's not something I think I can use, I will gift it to somebody. But this is a BFL, which I hadn't ever done anything with BFL. I've never bought BFL yarn or anything. This was dyed by Dandelion and Daisies. And I believe this was called Rum Raisin, but she didn't have a colorway name on her package when I got it. But I'm pretty sure when I ordered it, that's what I ordered. So I'm really curious to see, because if these purples and yellows hit on the brown at just the right way, it could kind of make the brown more pleasing for me. But we'll see. If not, then somebody's going to get that as a gift. The spin I was working on the last time I recorded is done. So this is dyed by Nanette Wake, and it is Targhee, 100% Targhee. This was the painted cotton colorway. I just love how this turned out. It kind of reminds me of like the inside of a seashell. You've got kind of that peachy color, a little bit of pink every once in a while, a little bit of yellow. I really, really like it. And it was funny because when I first started spinning this, I had just spun some merino, and then I went right into spinning this, and definitely had a different texture to it. There's more kink in the fiber, and I wasn't sure how soft it would feel because, as you're processing it or you're spinning it, it's not in its end form. But I thought, okay, let me just try it. It was really nice to spin with. I think this is the most even spin I've ever done. And when I plied it and took it off and actually could feel the yarn is soft. It's like next to skin soft. It's not as soft as superwash, but it's very soft. I could definitely wear it. So I don't know. I may make something. It's a little light for me, but I may wait and like ply it or use it maybe in color work and use it with another color. I don't really know how much my yardage is on this because, as I said, this fiber had a lot more kink. Well, it makes the end yarn a lot springier. There's a lot of spring in that yarn. And so when I was winding it on my umbrella swift, so I'm taking it off the bobbin and I'm winding and I'm counting how many times it goes around. Well, after a while and you get going, it develops some tension. And because this does stretch, I think I was, like as I'm counting it stretched, and then you take it off and it goes, so I don't think I have the amount of yardage that I originally counted, because I counted like 600 yards, and I don't think this is 600 yards. It is pretty much a fingering, so pretty consistently, a couple of spots, maybe, thinner or thicker, but really pretty consistently a fingering. And I applied it, and everything looked really good. And I'm like, I always, stop and check to make sure when it's twisting, like, is it the right amount of twist so I don't over twist it, blah, blah, blah. And I got done with it, and I took it and I skeined it into a skein. And I thought, this looks underplied to me. I'm not real happy with it, even though it looked nice and tight when I was actually playing it. So I took my umbrella swift, which is attached to a stool. You can see it right there. Put it next to me, put this on the swift, and I replied it just a little bit. I ran it back through the spinning wheel and just put a little bit more twist in it, and I'm really happy with it. And so this has been washed already, so it's ready to knit with. I think that this is going to give really good stitch definition. I want Jim to try and make me some sort of a yarn counter thing, that as my yarn's coming off the bobbin, before it goes on the swift, it has to run through something that counts it, because then that's going to give me a more accurate count. I asked him if he thought he could do it. I gave him the challenge, so we'll see if he does. But yeah, super cool, very, very pretty, very nice. So so I'm a fan of Targhee. I think I'm a fan of BFL. I didn't really care for how it was spinning initially, but I do think that it's going to end up being okay. That was this one. So we'll see when this plies. It is softer than I thought it would be, so that's something. So then another new fiber for me, and I got this from Nest Fiber Studio. And it's 100% Rambouillet. Sounds quite fancy. But look at these colors. This is In Limbo is the colorway name. The robin's egg blue with the burgundy. And then you've got little punches of gold. I don't know. I thought that was kind of pretty. And Nanette, who dyed this, says that Rambouillet spins and knits a lot like Targhee, and I thought, well, maybe these could somehow go together. I have to see what this ends up looking like, but I'm excited to try it. That's gonna, I think, be a pretty stunning skein of yarn. Pretty sure. And then I thought, you know what I should do, since I'm I'm doing all this like fingering weight spins, is I could maybe make a sweater out of them, like I'm making my sock arm sweater, because that's a fingering weight sweater. I could maybe do it out of hand spun. I don't know, I don't know. But anyway, Nest Fiber Studios. And then got another one, and I actually think I may have a couple of things out in the mail. I may have to run out there and get it. But anyway, another dyer is Slothy Creations, and she's on Etsy. Found her on Instagram. And look at this. I mean, come on. Look at those colors. It just looks so happy to me. You kind of have some pastels, and then you get it a little bit more intense right there, because I think this would make a really nice combination. And I already have a pattern picked out, so I think I'm going to put this on the wheel next. So this is a Coriadale, which I've never spun yet. Feels pretty soft. It's hard to tell when it's in this form, but it doesn't have a rough feel to it. And there is a pattern, a newer pattern, came out, I think, in April by Jennifer Steingass, who is Knit Love Wool. She designs a lot of colorwork sweaters, a lot of colorwork, beautiful stuff. And my, my blue sweater, what was that sweater called? I don't remember. I'll put the name down here. I made a sweater of hers, beautiful colorwork. She's come up with a cowl, or she published a pattern that's a cowl, and it's knit in a tube so that all your floats, it's color work, so all your floats are just hidden in this tube. And I thought this could be the background because it's just got some gorgeous colors, and then this could be the leaves of the pattern that I'm hopefully showing you somewhere on the screen. So depending on how this spins up, I think that would be a really cool pattern to use, and then make a cowl out of it. I think I should go check my mailbox. What do you think? I think I should go check my mailbox. Okay, hang on a second. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so glad I went and got my new fiber. Look at this. This is from Wound Up Fiber Arts. This is Lemon Drop. And she spun this up herself and showed the skein, like it all plied and everything, and it was a really nice, oh, that's just blowing out. The camera doesn't know what to do with those bright colors. It looked really pretty, and I thought it would be a really good, it'll end up being kind of a tonal, to go with something else. And then of course, while I'm on her website, I had to get this. This is called Careless from Wound Up Fiber Arts. Purple, blue, got a little bit of that neon green in there. You guys, like, look at that. And these are superwash merino, 90% superwash merino and 10% nylon. Very, very soft. The superwash is really very soft. Oh, that's going to be a fun spin. That's going to be fun. Look at that. Okay. I'm going to be busy. If you can't find me, I'm up here spinning. It's going to be how it is. Oh, that's exciting. Earlier, like a couple weeks ago, maybe, the guys at Fiber Hustle, Aaron and Chip, hosted a Zoom bingo game. And it was so fun. I don't know how many of us there were, maybe 25 or 30 people. I don't know. And we played bingo. They had game boards or bingo cards or whatever. They emailed it and we printed them off and played bingo, and it was really fun. And then as the games, we did like several games and realized they were doing prizes, which I didn't know. And I won a prize. So it was the last game. So I was very thankful. And this is it. This is animal heads. And they had two versions. They had a crochet version and the sewn version. So I took the sewn version because I thought, I don't really know how to crochet. That's going to be too complicated for me. So I thought, well, I'll do the sewing one. Oh my gosh, you guys. Violet, leave it alone. I looked at some of the patterns. They're pretty intimidating. There's just a lot. There's a lot. But what's really cool is the fabrics that they show them in. I'm sure you buy these fabrics, but I thought, wouldn't that be cool to be able to go to the thrift store and maybe purchase like a, men's trousers, like suit trousers, slacks, whatever you call them, and, make something like that. And look at how they do the eyes. They're like old buttons. And that's a cat. That's the bear. They're very cute. They're very complicated looking. So I definitely have to do it when I can sit and kind of concentrate. And I can't go to thrift stores right now. So in order for me to get that kind of fabric, I have to go to the store. Some store, whether it's a fabric store, which none of those are open right now. So when we can go back to, shopping in person, I'm going to be making me some animal heads. I thought about maybe even just trying one out of just my quilter's cotton scraps that I have. They'd end up being pretty psychedelic, I think. But I think it'd be pretty cool just to have like a little fabric head. What is it, like a taxidermy head or something? So thank you, Chip and Aaron. You guys made that really fun, and that was very generous of you to give prizes. So that was pretty cool. So that's really all my crafty stuff. I dug out my paints and stuff to try and make some cards, and it was like the more I tried to be more specific with it, or more trying to make it look more like something, the worse I am. I'm better to just slap on some painting and paint and just draw something over it. But, you know, I just need more practice. So I'm going to make some more cards. I think today I'm going to try and make some scones. Somebody mentioned scones the other day, and it sounded really good. And I thought, well, I've never made a scone before. Let's try it. So I'm going to try and make some scones today. Well, one thing that I have started doing, is I've done it for 2 weeks now, is I signed up for on Imperfect Foods. I think it's imperfectfoods.com. I'll put a link down below. And you get, once a week, you get a box of produce. They have other things other than produce, but what I'm getting is produce, because I find that that's what I run out of, and that's what I end up having to go back to the store for. And so we've gotten all kinds of different things. For me, the delivery is on Monday. So from Thursday to Saturday, I can get online and say, I want some of this, and no, I don't want that, or what, look and see what they have. They're getting, some foods are available because restaurants aren't open. So those foods have to go somewhere. Some of them may have like a brown spot on them, and so they're not good for grocery stores or something. I know that they had some little snack packs that were for an airline that they got a hold of, because the airlines aren't having as many flights. They had a lot of the little snack packs. I didn't buy any because we don't eat that kind of stuff, but there's a variety there. And on Monday afternoons, I get a box of really good stuff. I swear the the asparagus we had the other day was probably the best asparagus I've ever had. Got avocados and corn on the cob, which corn on the cob isn't here locally for quite a while. So I think a lot of it's coming out of California, but hey, whatever. We get a lot of our fruits and vegetables from California anyway. And yeah, so far it's been really good. And then I'm not having to go to the store, and I can get a variety of fruits. Just got some grapefruits this last time, and they're really good. Everything's been really, really delicious. And only a couple things I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure, if it's quite blemish free enough for me, but just a couple pieces. And it comes cold, so I think their van that they deliver it in is cold. And it's been good for us. So you might want to check it out, being that, going to the grocery store is like an event anymore. You have to practically, put your hazmat suit on. And then when you come home, it's the whole, whole procedure of sanitizing everything. And so I get my box, I fill up my sink with a little bit with some water and a little splash of bleach in it. And I put all my produce in there, let them kind of soak for a little bit, rinse them off, and they're clean, they're good. And it's all really delicious. Blueberries were good. Oh, the raspberries. Oh, so anyway, if you're interested in looking for something different, I do recommend them. It's been good. Other than that, it's what's weird through all this is I'm not bored, and I know some people are kind of going crazy and getting bored. It did feel really good to go see Michelle yesterday. I haven't been face-to-face contact with any of my friends, and that was kind of the first time. And we did keep our distance, and we sat and we knitted, but we weren't right next to each other, and so we kept our distance and stuff. But it felt really good to just sit and have like a conversation, And so aside from that, I'm not bored, but what it's hard for me is like Jim will come home from work and he's like, how's your day? What'd you do? And it's kind of like same thing I did every other day. That's the sameness of it. I have nothing to talk about. I haven't done anything different to contribute to a conversation, and he's at least out at work and maybe has a couple things to say, but it's kind of like that gets hard because you don't have anything to discuss or talk about. I don't want to talk about the whole COVID thing because, what are you going to say about it? I don't listen to the news. I listen just a little bit to sort of see if anything's new. No, nothing's new. And then I turn off the TV and I don't turn it back on. So that's me in a nutshell. So I hope you guys are not going too crazy and everybody's staying healthy. And as they start releasing some of these lockdown procedures and stuff, I hope that you still are careful and you stay safe and everything. So if you keep crafting, you don't get bored. So that's a plus. It is a plus that I do a lot of different crafts, so I can move from one thing to another and not be bored with any one thing. And I do know I'm lucky in that regard. So I hope you keep crafting, keep yourself sane, take care of yourself, do what you need to do to make it through. And, we all have to do what we got to do. So I wish you all well. I will hopefully be able to record again real soon. Maybe I'll have a sweater finished. That'd be nice. Maybe some more yarn spun up. So anyway, have a good one, you guys. I will see you all later.